Hey, Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts here, and welcome to my 2022 annual catalogue launch. So this is for, well, it's for everyone, including those who were able to come this morning to the launch that I had at home. And obviously, if you can't make it, then I'm here just to share some of the information about the catalogue. Those of you who have placed orders with me in the last year or have specifically requested a catalogue should hopefully, touch wood, now have them. If not, then please leave a message. Either you can email me at fiona@oakvillecrafts.com, or you can even just post me a message in the comments and things, and I will get in touch with you so that I can, know what's going on. So hopefully this is, as I said, is live. It looks like it is on my laptops, which is good, although there's a bit of a lag, but that's okay. So this is the new catalogue, and I'm happy to say I can now actually open it in front of you. Sadly, there's always a rule that we can't share the insides of the catalogue online until such time as it goes live. So it's now live. Yep, yippee. So here we go. So I'm not going to go through everything in detail because obviously that will take forever and a day. I just want to point out a few things. So first off, we have the table of contents, which is always useful to know about. So there are various numbers of suites, such as the Tea Boutique, Happy Forest Friends. So that just gives you an idea of what pages that they are on. So for example, Happy Forest Friends is on page 46 to 47. And it also gives you what they're designed for. So, I mean, the Happy Forest Friends, they put that under kids and baby, but quite frankly, it's so cute. Really, it's not specifically, I personally don't think, for kids, but that's where they decided to put it. So I think it's really sweet. So you've got a bear and a fox and an owl, and you can make all sorts of things. Obviously it says hello baby, so yeah, okay, so that's that's why they put it under the babies and kids. You will also find for this particular one that it says distinctive. So what it means is that these images that you see, that kind of grey, light grey, dark grey, when you actually come to stamp, it's not a full-on block. There will be areas where it will be lighter and darker. So for example, here on these examples, you can see the bear. He's not the same colour. Well, he is the same colour, he's just not the same shade all over. So it's just a nice way of actually getting some shading onto some images. So both of the bear, the owl and the fox, and also some of the other little things, so the acorn, and you just use the one colour, but it then comes out as different shades of that thing. So that's what distinctive means. Then you'll find some stamp sets that have this little gold symbol in, and these were designed, well, I wouldn't say they were designed completely by the people who have achieved the $1 million sales, but they have a lot of say in the design of the stamp set. So for example, so this one here was designed with Diane Dimich in mind, so she would have been meeting up with the designers, and they came up between them with this stamp set. So she would have had some input on that. So as I said, so we've got product suites, accessories, so that's basically your paper, your inks, and all the tools that you need. Some information about the host and joining opportunities. If you join this month, you actually get an in-colour starter kit with your main starter kit. So it's normally you get to choose £130 worth for £99, but this month you get the choice of the £130 worth. But you also get an in-colour kit, which is starter kit, which is worth £62 £1.50, so you get nearly £200 worth of product for £99, which is an absolute steal. What you then do with it is really up to you. Obviously, if you're looking to start a business, I'm here to help. If you simply just want to become your own best customer and just have the discounts on your own orders, that's great. I'm happy for you to join as well. I don't treat any of my team any different depending on whether they're doing it as a business or just for themselves. So just so that you know. And then we have indexes at the back. So we've got punch bundles, die bundles, stamps and accessories. And then these are some of the icons that I was talking about. So if you look, if there's an N, so let's see, for example, so sending smiles, this particular set, it's got a red N on it. So that means it's a new set, whereas Pansy Patch has been around for a little while, so it doesn't have the N. And then these, you'll find some rectangles at the bottom of pages, and that normally means that there's a bundle savings. So if you buy the stamp set and the dies as a bundle, you save 10% on the combined total. And it also tells you whether it will fit through the mini machine. So say, for example, this Pansy Patch, it's a distinctive stamp set. There is a bundle where you save the 10%, and the dies will go through the mini machine rather than the standard stamping cut and emboss machine. So reversibles, actually, you know what? I haven't actually seen any of those. I have to go look through. I'm going to have to go look through this in more detail now and find some reversible stamp sets. So basically, it's a specialised photopolymer with images on both sides. I know we've done them in the past, and I'm guessing there is some in here. But obviously, I've skimmed through pages and not looked in any depth, as you do at times. You're just looking for something in particular, and then also there's a little clock on some which where they've given you some ideas for some quick and easy projects, perfect for making lots of. And then don't forget, Stampin' Up Europe covers England, so EN, France, Germany and Holland. So those are the other languages that some of the stamp sets are available in. So you will actually see, let's see, find, so this one here, the Christmas to Remember, is available in English, French, German and Dutch. If you're ever wanting to look for a French, German or Dutch set for friends who are overseas. So, right, what have we got else to share? So, of course, we've got our coordinating colours and our Nuing colours. The Creativity Made Easy are our kits. Now, you will not find the kits actually in the catalogue. You will find them on a separate, on the website. So if you go to my website, you will actually be able to click on kits and you'll be able to see what is available at the moment. So things like the birthdays, the kangaroos, they're all available. The robots, I haven't made it here yet, sadly, nor this little one. But that's the best place for looking for up-to-date pieces of information. So then we just come on to the sweets. So Tea Boutique, which I'll show you in a minute because I have a make and take in that. And I've actually posted already quite a few projects that I've made up on Facebook and things. Similarly with the Sending Smiles, I've had a couple. And then obviously then you'll find that at the top page, oh, you can't see, at the top of each page, there is like a little colour. So all occasions, so if you're looking for all occasions, and you're flicking through, if you just find the pages that have the red in that corner, then they're all the all occasion stamps. So things like the Sweet Songbirds, again, and I'll be sharing that in a minute. And then you've got your kids, all occasions. So you've got your kids and birth and baby. You've got love, thanks and support. Hobbies and Recreation, so these are quite good. So we've got boats, we've got wild animals, we've got camping, great new one for the men, beer, more boats and things like that, more wild animals. And then we've got things like artistic expression. So these are all ones that you can, if you want colour, or create a scene. It's really up to you what you want to do. So we have some really lovely new, we've got wisteria one, we've got botanical layers. Now these obviously don't always have dies. Sometimes they have a, so this one for example, the Wisteria Wishes bundle, so there is dies with that, but the these botanical layers, these leaves and fronds and things, rather than having a dies, there is actually vellum that goes with these that you can use as a background, or such as this. So that's what that is. So this is actually, I think these have actually got this, or these are in addition. I'll have to look at what the lovely, let's look at page 139 and actually look what's in the vellum. Okay. So the lovely layers for this is the vellum. There's 60 sheets in there, which are 3 3/4 by 5 inch. So they're perfect for front of a card. They're 9.5 by 12.7 centimetres. You wouldn't necessarily want them to go right to the edge. So 60 sheets for £5.75, and there's 5 each of 4 printed designs. And then there are 40 plain sheets of basic black vellum. So that tells you what's in here. And then obviously these are the printed designs. So we have a clear with circle. We have one that's sort of like a waves. This is all around the edge, and then this is kind of dotty spots. So that's what that looks like. So yeah, we've done that. So artistic expression. And then we come to accessories. So in colours and the normal colours, standard family colours. So the first page is 122. These are new in colours. So if you join during May, you will get a pack of the mixed cardstock. You will also receive the classic Stampin ink pad in all 5 colours. So you'll get 1 of each. And you also get a pack of the paper, which is here. So that you get a mixed pack, and then you get the mixed pack of the 6x6 paper as well. So in all, it's £62.50 worth, again for free when you join just this month. We have more accessories, which are the storage, so ink pads, blends, markers. You can put your refills in, you can put your ribbons in. It's really up to you how you want to use it. So that the ink pad, you can actually store the ink pad and the marker side by side, and then there's a separate storage unit for Stampin blends. So you can get yourself well and truly organised, which is something that I aim to do, and I'm getting there slowly. Adhesives, as I said, I'm not gonna go through this in too much depth. And then we come to, so we've got adhesives, we've got packaging, we've got specialty paper, envelopes, and all that sort of things that you need. Then, so packaging, and then we've got embellishments, so we've got rhinestones, we've got all sorts. These, I haven't got any of these yet, but that's something I need to get. So we've got little trinkets, all the in-colour stuff, and then we've got ribbons, lots of lovely ribbons, and then we've got some information about the stamparatus, ink blocks. Obviously you need your blocks to put on to put your stamps on, grid paper and all the other little accessories and things that you need when you're stamping. And then we've got punch bundles. Then we've just got normal punches which don't coordinate necessarily with anything in particular, but they're great. So like things like the Label Me Lovely and the rectangular postage stamp, things like that are good for putting sentiments and things on. Just put them on your card. And then obviously we've got things like the Hedgehog Builder and the Ladybug, or the Ladybird as we call it, builder. Tools. So you've got your trimmer, and you take your pick tool and bone folder and scissors and all those sorts of things. And then all the stuff that you need for die cutting. So we've got both the standard stamp and cut and emboss, and then the mini. And then all the various plates that to go with it. And then we get on to bundles. So first of all, we've got the stamps and dies. And also, then you just got the dies. So one of the things I should point out is that, say for example, let's go back to the very, very beginning, because that's the easiest thing to do. So if you look at the Tea Boutique, so you have a whole page that has samples on, but when you then look up the Tea Boutique at the back in bundles, there will be another sample, and they've changed it around slightly. So they've actually now put the bundles in, I was going to say in alphabetical order, but now looking at it, they're not in alphabetical order. Okay, so let's find the Tea Boutique. So here's the Tea Boutique. So you've got the cup of tea bundle, which is the bundle. So you've got the stamps and the dies, and it also gives you another example. So you know, you do get, for some of them, quite a few different samples to show you how versatile and how to use the paper and things like that. So I think that is it. That's my basic run through the catalogue. There is, so just so you know, there is a whole index of stamps at the back. So if you remember the name of it, but you don't really want to spend all your time flicking through, you can just come to the index and look it up and see what page you'll find it on. So I just want to spend a couple of minutes just sharing with you a couple of things that I like. So I have, and you may have seen it up on Facebook already. So this is a card that I have shared, made using the Bottled Happiness. So it's not something you would necessarily have thought about. So I've used these two stamps here to create these images. So I started off with the darker colour, and then I used a lighter colour. So I have here used, let's see, what was it? It was Gorgeous Grape and Fresh Freesia. So those are the two colours that I used here. And then I embossed a piece of cardstock with the Hive embossing folder, and then stamped a little message, and that's die cut out using the, I have to remember what it is now. It is, I think it's the beautiful, yeah, Beautiful Shapes. So it's this one here. It has hexagons and circles and all sorts of things on. So I die cut that out, and I put it this way purposely, because then it sort of follows on with the Hive. I did a little pearl, and then this is the bottles. So there is a punch. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, so it's clear. And this is what it looks like. So I've simply stamped this onto some basic white cardstock, and then I simply punched out using that. So these are the corks. And then this label, I stamped this one again, but onto some scrap band, but then I just fussy cut it out. Because the punch only punches out the bottle. And again, I used the Hive on this, and this is Gorgeous Grape. So I just wanted to show that you don't have to use just the bottles, you can use just the flowers. And obviously you can combine the two in any combination that you want to. So that was just that one. And then the other one that I wanted to share with you is something I planned to do on Wednesday. And I'm saying this just to be honest, but I've had a horrendous week. It's just been one of those weeks where everything that I wanted to do kind of hasn't happened for one thing or for one reason or another, which I don't need, and I don't want to bore you with it. So this was the card that I was going to share with you on Wednesday, and I use primarily the paper pack that looks like this. And I will just quickly share with you the papers. So it's the Hues of Happiness paper. And as you can see here, and this is what I wanted to share with you, the dies, as I was making this card, I was surprised at the number of dies in the die set that actually cut out the paper. So if you look at here, these are some of the flowers that were cut out. So there's very little not cut out if you want, if that's your thing. Obviously you can use it if you want to, just as a sheet and then cut it up. And the nice thing about it is that you will find that there are various colours on most sheets. So you've started here, and I have to get, where is it, with the, I want to say melon mambo, but I don't think it is. It is, oh, it is melon. So we've got like melon mambo, we've got flirty flamingo, and then we've got mango melody and daffodil delight on this one. So you've got a whole different hue of colours here, which you can, if you would just want to have one colour, you would just simply cut across and then just use those. So this paper is really, really versatile. So that's just one. The second one, again, we've got different colours. So we've got the blues, the purples, going into the pinks and the darker colours. We have this, so we've got, again, we just got strips of colour, which is really pretty. I think that's the one I've done. You've got one that has a much darker background. So it has a nice of navy background. But again, you've got all sorts of different colours here. These ones are, I don't think you can die cut these ones simply because they kind of overlap too much. But there's nothing to stop you from like just picking a couple and cutting them out if you really wanted to, or you obviously just use them as they are. And then this one here is the same design as this, just in a different colour palette. So this is more the blues and the purples. And let me just show you. So the dies look like this, and these fit perfectly, and this is where I have to spend my time. Once you get your eye on these, it's dead simple, she says. You kind of want to concentrate on well, I could be here in all day, couldn't I? So I know that one fits on. There you go. Told you once you get your eye. So that one fits on there. We have, this one's a bit of a telltale because it's got a stalk on it. So that one fits on there. This one, again, is a bit of a telltale. It fits on, I was going to say that one, but I thought it was, but maybe it's not. It's that one. Let's find another one. It's this one here. which is, oh, I know it fits on one of them. Just keep going till I find the right one. That one fits on there. Then you've got, this will fit on, let's find 2. That one's got 2 on. This one fits on the 3 on that one. I think, and then this one definitely fits on 1. I just have to find which one it is. That's too big. It's this one. I'm sure it is. Well, that's the same as that. Right, it's that one. I knew there was something. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 6 dies that you can use with both the stamp set, as these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you can use, and then you can also use it on the paper. So these dies are really versatile. And then the rest of the dies, like these 2 here, are for stamps. That's for that's a really lovely background. And then these 2 are for edgings and borders and things. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with this. I knew I'd get there in the end. I'm just going to pop them back in there. Make sure I've got them all. Let's put that away. So we've got that one and we have that one. And I think, and we've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. There must be another one here. And then obviously on the back there's a completely different paper. So this is nice because it has again a more watercolor, although actually it's kind of more like oil on canvas look. Similarly again, but with the blues, and again other colours. So these can be used for all sorts of things. And then this one has small flowers, and there's another one. I can't believe that you know what, I may have used it all up. And I think this is what I have left. So this is the other piece. So again, we've got roses and all sorts of things, and then on the other side it's just got some little checks and things. So this was the paper here that I used for this card, which was, as I said, this was the one that I was going to share on Tuesday, but I was just not able to. And then this is, so that's one of the dies and a sentiment. And I will share that, and I'll show you how to make it, or at least give you instructions on how to make it, and then hopefully you'll give it a go. It's a lot easier than it looks. It is just one piece of card, and well, it's 2 pieces because it's that one and there's this one, but really that's all there is, and it's all in the scoring and how you stick it together. Okay, right, so I think I am about done with that. So I've got a make and take to share with you, and then I'll come back again at 3:30 and share another one. So we had 2 make and takes this morning. The first one is this little one, which is why I said I will talk about this in a minute rather than hold you all up. So we have this is the make and take kit. Oops, don't need that flower. And all I'm going to do now is find the stamp set and the punch. So it's called Sweet Songbirds. And you have 2 birds on there, and this bird here coordinates with the punch. So you can get these as a bundle, and I'll show you. Just find it. I should have actually marked this page up, eh? So it's on page 31 of the main catalogue. The reason I say main catalogue is because we're forgetting that the January to June catalogue is still live as well. So, so this is it. So this is the stamp set. So the stamps are £18 and the punch, but when you get them together, instead of being £36, it's £32.25. So as I said, you save the 10%, and then you've got these cards that you can give you an idea. And then on page 152, which is where you will find the punch. It's here. So the Songbird Builder Punch, if you wanted to buy it just by itself, is £18. And again, as I said, the bundle is £32.25. So you have a card here, and then you also have the other cards there. Oh, and I'm actually noticing some comments. Oh, hello, Louise. I'm sorry I didn't reply. Just actually noticed that you were on, so I'm sorry about that. And that, yes, you're right, those papers, you can make loads of cards with those. It's, yeah, so many, it's kind of crazy, really. But anyway, so this is the stamp set and the punch. This is the card that they got to make. It was all prepared. So we have the usual piece of white to go on the inside, and then the card itself is pretty straightforward to do. It's more a question of just gluing a lot of it to start off with. So you've got your one piece here, that piece, and you have a stitched piece, which is what you're going to do some stamping on, and then you have some little punched out elements. So you have the breast for the bird, and then you have two wings, and you also have a beak, which hopefully no one loses. And then simply you're going to stamp, she says, and I just got to find everything. So the branch, we're going to start with that bit, because it's a lot easier to put a bird on a branch than it is to put a branch on a bird. You can see this is a well-used stamp set now. I need to make sure that I don't rock this. So we're just going to stamp this. Now it's photopolymer, which means that we don't need, but I would recommend that you have something. Remember what I said about not rocking it? I obviously did. Oh dear. I don't have any wet wipes. Where are they? I did have. Just grab a tissue. Because otherwise this is going to go everywhere. So we're going to forget about that mark that I put up the top there. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. And I'm hoping that when I put the bird on, actually it'll hide it, but we'll see. So, early espresso for the branch. And then we're going to use Sweet Sorbet, which is one of the new in colours. And we're going to do the bird in that. Now, don't be alarmed. Photopolymer stamps do have a habit of staining. It's just how it is, and especially if there's anything with a red in it. So obviously if I'm stamping in red, it is going to create a bit of a red mess with your stamps, but it doesn't affect how they actually stamp, so don't panic. So we just want to put him on there. Now my ink pad is very juicy, so which is why it kind of looks a bit blotchy. If that really bothers you, then just get an old credit card, Oyster card, whatever, ruler, and just pull or push the ink to the top or the bottom, and then use the bit where you've moved it from. A lot of people say, well, just get a towel or paper towel and blot it, but that actually will take the ink off, which is fine, but why waste it? If you just push it to one side using, as I said, using something, then that's fine. And then in time it'll just move back. Right, so next I am going to stamp my leaves. So we have some leaves here. Now the leaves are actually on one stamp, so don't go wondering where the second leaf is. They're actually both on the same block. Now this is going to mean that mine's going to be going off, but hey, what? It's one of those. I'm not too worried about that. Handmade card, and it's never going to be the same. Now the nice thing is, as I mentioned earlier, is that when you stamp the bird, there'll be a white patch where the breast goes, and there will be another white patch where the beak goes. So that gives you an idea where to glue those. We also need some eyes, which again, that's a little stamp. One of these ones that if you blink and put it down and forget about it, then you could lose it. So just be careful. So I'm using Memento for my eyes. And I never know whether to put the beak on first or just to go for it with the eyes. So hopefully these are not going to look too squint. So that's my eyes. And then the only other thing that I need to stamp is a sentiment and some flowers. Now the flowers need to be, she says, I've got some scrap here. So the flowers need to be stamped on some scrap. And again, I am going to use some where have I done it? Sweet Sorbet. You could stamp direct onto your little card if you wanted to. I'm just going to do 3 of them. But I quite like fussy cutting, so for me it's not too onerous. And this is just some scrap thick, but you don't have to use thick. Normal basic white will be fine. And try and let the scissors do the work for you. It doesn't always work, especially with these little things. So sometimes I end up just cutting bits off and then working my way around again. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's really up to you if you want to take it right up to the where the ink is, but I don't mind. It's going to be on pretty much a white background, so you don't tend to notice too much. And let's see, keep going. That's that. That's my third. I'll start my third one now. Should have done these and put them to one side so that I didn't have to do all this now. But hey, it's all part and parcel of making a handmade card and sharing how to do it. Right, so I've got my 3 flowers. And I need some dimensionals. Do I have the minis here? Yes. Although these are mini flowers, the mini dimensionals are still a little bit too big. So I'm just going to cut them in half. And actually thinking about it, there's one. So I had one that was actually glued. Direct. And you don't need that much glue. Let's just put that on there. So I just wiped it off. And the nice thing about the glue is you can just wash it off anyway. I'm going to put this on the back. How I managed to pick two up, I don't know. I'll put that one there. This one's going to go on here, like that. I love my scissors, because my paper snips, because if bits poke out, I sort of just use them to sort of push them back, the dimensional back underneath. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that. Well, maybe I'll stick a flower on him or something. Right, so we now have to glue the breast bit, and it's just a question of lining it up and sticking it on. So this is some of the in colour 6x6 paper that's just been punched out. So this will be Starry Sky. There's one wing on. Don't need lots on here, so I'm going to hit that wing on there. Now this wing, because we've actually stamped rather than stamped an image and punched it out, obviously I don't want to be sticking it directly like that. So what we need to do, and I'm just going to use a pen, is work out where you want to put it, and then just sort of mark on here, sort of follow the line, and then just cut that piece off. You know, or use a pencil, or get one of the if you have one of those pens that you can erase, then you would use that. So whatever you have to hand. Nearly. I'm just going to put his wing on there. So he's got two wings. He's got a body, but he hasn't got a beak. So we're going to put that on next. I'm just going to put a little blob of glue on it here. So that's my bird. Now I do have a sand eraser which I will use in a minute just to get that, but I think you get the gist of this now. So that will go on there like that, and then the inside I opened it this way. This is how I did this originally, but I prefer my cards, certainly when the landscape, to have the fold at the side. That way the card's not going to sort of split open. I just simply stamped a couple of the leaves again, actually just one stamp, and then just put some flowers over it, and then I did a similar thing with the envelope. Yes, Lynn, you're right, the bird is very cute. So that was the first make and take, which we did this morning. So I will post photos of this up on the Facebook page shortly. I'm going to take a break for a minute or two, and I will be back at 3:30 to share another make and take with you. In the meantime, if you are in need of a catalogue, please just put a message via Messenger to me, or email me to Fiona@oakfieldcrafts.com, and obviously with your address, and I will get one in the post to you. and I will see you in 45 minutes. Oh, and don't forget the buy one get one free sale. So basically, for every £1 you spend on my retired items, you get to spend £1 on me in the items in the new annual catalogue, or in that sheet, thinking about it, the January to June catalogue. So that's going to be going live in about 15 minutes. There's got a couple of things I need to do before I can push the button. And as I said, I will see you at 3:30. Take care. Bye.